Onireke Badon, a station for the elderly, the youths, the teenagers, and in fact, our children. It is a station for all. So come patronize us on Pensioners
106.7 FM.
Ibadan. All corporate organizations, ministries, departments, and agencies of government, government parastatals and commissions, artisans, private companies, market men and women, professional civil servants, and other categories of workers. This is your station. Just visit the marketing department of Pensioners
106.7 FM.
Agbarigo Nireke Ibadan, and you will be glad you did. Pensioners FM, the voice of liberation. The voice of liberation.
Pensioners FM. This is Africa's model.
The time is 3 o'clock. Good afternoon. Here is Oyo State News on Pensioners 106.7 FM at Barigo, Unireke. I am Abiola Ayodele. Ahead of school's resumption in Oyo State, the State's Universal Basic Education Board has just concluded training over 2,454 head teachers in the state on COVID-19 preventive measures. The training session, which was held across all educational zones in the state, started on Tuesday. Speaking at the event, the executive chairman, Oyo State Universal Basic Education Board, Dr. Nureni Adeniran, said the board, in collaboration with Universal Basic Education Commission, UBEC, has begun capacity building of all teachers at primary school level as directed by the Nigeria Center for Disease Control in view of the World Health Organization's submission that COVID-19 might be for a while. He noted that the state government had earlier organized and funded training of school administrators on COVID-19 preventive measures for both primary and secondary school teachers. Recall that the pandemic hit the country since March, necessitating the closure of schools since then. As part of efforts to eradicate human trafficking in the state, the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, has inaugurated its task force in Oyo State to sensitize grassroots on danger of trafficking. Pensioners FM correspondent Anoluapo Fasoyi reports that the task force members were drawn from the Immigration Service, Nigeria Police Force, Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, traditional rulers, non-governmental organizations, and civil society groups. The task force is headed by the State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Professor Oyelowo Oyewo. In an address, the Director General of NAPTIP, Dame Julie Okadonli, said the task force had a pivotal role to play in ensuring adequate sensitization of the grassroots, especially the vulnerable groups. Okadonli noted that the task force would also provide services and support to the victims as well as prosecute the perpetrators. The DG said that the task force required strong political will and budgetary provisions on the part of the state government, as well as the commitment of traditional, religious, and community leaders to achieve its objectives. Inaugurating the task force, Governor Seyi Makinde, represented by his deputy, Engineer Rauf Olaniyan, said the state was looking forward for more stringent measures of punishing human trafficking offenders. Earlier, the Olubadan of Ibadan land, Oba Saliu Adetunji, had earlier spoken on his resolve to back any move that would stamp the menace of human trafficking in the state when the NAPTIP DG paid him a courtesy visit. Oyo State Independent Electoral Commission, OICEC, Chairman Isiaka Olagunju has harped on the need for citizens to have trust in the state's electoral processes in order to experience good governance at local level. Olagunju gave the advice while speaking with newsmen in Ibadan. The board chairman said it was essential to reposition the process of selecting leaders at the local government councils. Hence, the general public must have confidence in the board and turn out en masse during the polls. Olagunju maintained that the conduct of the commission would be in line with the stipulated laws with a view to ensuring that the will of the people prevail. Babatunde Oduyoye, Special Advisor on Strategy and Political Matters, Special Advisor on Strategy and Political Matters to Oyo State Governor, Engineer Sheyi Makinde, says the governor will not be distracted in his determination to ensure a strong and united People's Democratic Party, PDP, in the Southwest geopolitical zone. Recall that former Ekiti State Governor Ayodele Fayoshe warned Makinde against interfering in the politics of other Southwest states, especially Ekiti. However, Makinde's political advisor, in a statement in Ibadan, said Governor Makinde will not be deterred by opposition to his reconciliatory efforts and plans to bring unity and cohesion to the PDP in the Southwest. Oduyoye added that the governor has been doing his best both as elected governor of Oyo State and as a leader of note within the PDP structure. Meanwhile, members of the African Democratic Congress (ADC) in the four local government areas of Oyo Federal Constituency have confirmed their defection to the ruling People's Democratic Party in the state. Recall that some stakeholders of the ADC in the local government had earlier visited Governor Makinde. A statement by the stakeholders after an enlarged meeting in Oyo confirmed their defection to the ruling party. A retired Don, Professor Titi Hazan, wants workers to make adequate preparation for their Dean, Faculty of Science at the University of Ibadan, who featured on a Pensioners FM's program, The Grey Hair, was of the view that some people suffer during retirement because they fail to make adequate preparation while in active service.
The point I'm saying is once you are reaching retirement age, think of yourself. That child will take care of yourself. Don't see your child as your ATM. It may not be your ATM. So you should try to ensure that you are taking care of yourself. But don't spend all your money. Don't take all the money to nightclub. Be Apollo. And with all apologies on women, because a lot of us do it. You are 50 something, you go and marry a young wife. You marry your trouble.
Speaking on the role of the government in make has very little about the future of its workers. Professor Hazan charged retirees to live a life of contentment and avoid any issue that would add stress to their lives as they enjoy their retirement. Oyo State chapter of the Road Transport Employers Association of Nigeria (RTEAN) has condemned the statement credited to the chairman disciplinary committee of the Oyo State Park Management System, Alhaji Mukaila Lamidi, that the union should stick to the law by paying its normal due to the state government because the government relies on it for social infrastructure. Speaking with journalists in Ibadan, State Chairman of RTEAN, Comrade Kamorudin Idowu, wondered what concerned Lamidi with the affairs of RTEAN in the state. Idowu said it was the NURTW that was suspended in the state and not RTEAN, insisting that the RTEAN members have the right to work in all the local governments. From a peak of over 1,380 COVID-19 confirmed cases in July to just 358 positive cases in August, Oyo State has witnessed a dramatic drop in the number of new cases in a single month. The state coordinator, Emergency Operations Center on COVID-19, Dr. Taiwo Ladipo, said in Ibadan that the number of new infections plummeted within only a month. But its experts believe that the decline in cases may be partly due to insufficient testing. Nigeria is ranked 15th in the world and top in Africa for its suicide rate, according to research. As the world yesterday observed the Suicide Prevention Day, Pensioners FM's correspondent Yetunde Oke examines the causes and how those prone to suicide can be helped. Her report.
Suicide prevention has remained a universal challenge. According to research, every year, suicide is among the top 20 leading causes of death globally for people of all ages. It is said to be responsible for over 800,000 deaths, which equates to one suicide every 40 seconds. Every life lost represents someone's partner, child, parent, friend, or colleague. Research has shown that for each suicide, approximately 135 people suffer intense grief or are otherwise affected. The World Suicide Prevention Day, on 10th of September every year, was therefore established by the International Association for Suicide Prevention and the World Health Organization to raise awareness around the globe that suicide can be prevented. President, Association of Psychiatrists in Nigeria, Dr. Taiwo Sheik, reveals that 12 out of every 100,000 Nigerian adolescents had attempted suicide. According to him, while suicide is not a new occurrence globally and locally, there is a worrying concern that youth suicide may be on the rise in Nigeria. Nigerians bear their minds on suicide and suicidal thoughts.
I think what leads people to suicide most times is emotional distress when mentally you are weighed down.
Taking one's life is not the way out at all. Taking your own life is not the way out. Plus, it's even a sin.
For any situation you have in this life, you don't have to commit suicide. You have to have hope that everything will be fine.
A counselor, Ms. Daltina Ubojo, gave a breakdown on what causes or triggers suicide thoughts, which differ from individual to individual.
Some people might not even have anything they're going through, but it might be some chemical imbalance in the body that causes depression. The causes of suicidal thoughts, sadness, depression are some of the signs.
On how to help people prone to suicide, Ms. Ubojo called for sensitivity and avoidance of things that would trigger depression in people.
We need to be sensitive to people's feelings, not being judgmental or callous or lack empathy.
An advocate for Say No to Suicide, Mr. Oluwaseun Oyedele, suggests professional help instead of resorting to suicide.
You don't just decide to kill yourself because of something you feel you are going through. And whatever you are going through, there are some people that are going through worse than you are. They still have reason to live.
Preventing suicide requires the efforts of family, friends, co-workers, community members, educators, religious leaders, healthcare professionals, political officials, and governments. To achieve a significant success in suicide reduction, all the mentioned stakeholders must therefore be alive to their responsibilities. Yetunde Oki, Pensioners FM.
Thank you so much, Yetunde. And with that, we move straight to the amazing world of sport. Controversy surrounding Oluyole Soccer Warlords Shooting Stars Sports Club from Ibadan midfielder Ayobami Jr. to Kano Pillars is still raging, while Shooting Stars Sports Club 3SC are boasting that the player involved is still there. Christopher, in a telephone chat with Pensioners FM's correspondent Ibiwumi Shola, said Shooting Stars general manager Rashidi Balogun should be able to shed more light on it.
I think the boy has a manager. Shooting Stars has the club somehow. I don't know the level of Shooting Stars and his manager. So I think that question should go to Balogun. Balogun will tell us better because he plays for Shooting Last. They just can't be that is interested to have the boy. So I don't know the transfer setting. Whether not Shooting get him or somebody get him. That I don't know. No, he can't. But he has come to discuss with our management and left. But I don't know whether it's in Lagos or somewhere. He's not in Kano now.
While Kano Pillars will represent the country at the African Continental Championship next year, 3SC will play in the second tier of the league, NNL, next session. And that leads us to the end of Oyo State News on Pensioners 106.7 FM. For any information, contact us on these mobile numbers 08120086270 or 08121889462. You can also visit us at Oyo State Pensioners House, Agbarigo, Onireke, Ibadan. The news editor is Pius Msabe Oluwatumishe Adesina, led the production crew. And I am Abiola Ayodele, saying good afternoon and thanks for listening.
ọmọdé àtàlà àgbà kẹ́yìn gbọ́ròyìn àgbọ̀fẹ́ kọ́gbọ́n níròyìn wá. Bẹ́sánà sẹ́fẹ̀ mú gbèròyìn dé o. Ìròyìn tí ọ̀lẹ́jà ń bá kan nínú. Ẹ̀tẹ́ tí bẹ̀lẹ̀ jẹ́